Good morning, guys. So I'm out here feeding the cows again, feeding them bales in my yard. What happened is we've had a lot of very hot and dry weather. We've had a couple of days over 40 degrees Celsius, and what has happened is the ground's really dried out, and we've had hectic winds at the moment. The wind is really blowing outside. We've had such hectic winds and it's dried out the soil, and now the grass is not quite growing like it should. So as a result of that, I'm having to feed. And this morning when I was mixing a load of feed in the Keenan, the bale handler blade, or the blade on the top that slices the bales, actually tore loose off of its brackets, and so now I'm having to nurse the bales into the feeder just so we can get through feeding this morning, and then I'll try and figure out what I'm going to do to sort it out. But I'll show you guys in a minute when I stop feeding what I mean. Okay, so I finished feeding this morning. I'm just down here at the workshop. I'll show you what I was talking about with the blade. So what you do with these Keenans is you put your bale on top here, and then it rests on these bars, and then these paddles kind of grab little pieces of it and cut it off along this blade. This is not the first time. This has happened twice already. I've only had this thing for 2 years. I bought it second hand, and these are the original brackets that hold it on. We reinforced it with pipe. There was one here we tore off, and all along there that's still fine. It's torn off at the end here. These welds have torn off, so these welds have torn off. I think there was a bracket here somewhere torn off. This bracket's torn off. So what I'll probably have to do is use a block and tackle and hook it around probably that paddle, or maybe a paddle down there, and pull it close enough to where we can weld it back on. So yeah, so that's the issue I've been having. And then along with that, I've got another problem. Just let me get down here. Is daar so by Paul? Daarvoor, waar jy gewerk het. So that's the problem with this. And then my spreader, this hydraulic motor's pump, this hydraulic pump's seal that's right at the bottom where the shaft comes out, that went, and it was pissing out hydraulic oil. So I took that in, and that took about 2 weeks to get the new seal, put it back together. I went spreading, and then I had issues this side. We've already pulled the hydraulic motor off, but basically where the bolt goes through the spinner, you have a bolt at the bottom in the center over there. It goes through into the hydraulic pump's shaft, and that's where it's stripped. Okay, ek gaan nou kom. Jy kan maar so lank opgaan. Ek gaan nou reg wees. So that's the issue. So we've pulled it off, and that's going into town to a machine shop, and they'll tap it out, because that thread's damaged inside that shaft. So that's basically the issues that we're having. But it's kind of holding me up. And then the feeding at the moment, with the heat and the dry weather we've been having, I've been having to feed, so I've got to get the Keenan fixed too. Otherwise what will eventually happen is it'll tear off that whole blade, and then we're really in the shit. So Okay, thanks for watching, and see you next time.